vlog series here. My name is Roberto Nacarado on behalf of Elasto Proxy, and I'm here with a very special guest, Harold Dumur from OVA. Hi, Harold.
Hey, hi.
Harold is the president and founder of OVA, and just so that everyone kind of we've interviewed Harold before at CanSec. We did a live stream, and unfortunately, we had a little bit of a bug. So I said to Harold, we got to make it right. So we asked Harold to come back. So thank you so much for making this happen, Harold.
Glad to be back, by the way, and happy to share a bit more about what we have been talking, through that bug and showcasing, why we were actually at the CanSec and how we can empower teams in the metaverse more specifically. So if you want, I can share my screen and tell you a bit more about our story and where we come from and where we are going.
Let's share this to the public. Go for it.
Great. Awesome. So today I just want to, tell you how it is important for the defense industry and other industry in this world to make that paradigm shift to the metaverse. And because, with that pandemic, we were kind of stuck at home. And the only way to talk with others, to exchange idea, it was with this 2D screen. Yep. And as you know, 3D human species is kind of strange to talk about 3D idea through a 2D screen. It's a kind of weird translation. So this is actually where we were born back in 2014. So a bit more than 8 years ago, when we discovered that for creating like 3D submarine, 3D F-35, and so on, to do virtual reality for training or maintenance, repair, and operation, and so on, that was a huge gap and challenge. Because nowadays, if I want to do, this kind of presentation, there is many tools such as PowerPoint or Google Slide, and it is quite easy. You just need to insert picture, text, videos, and so on. But there is not really any drag and drop WYSIWYG tool, which stands for what you see is what you get. Okay. In this, next paradigm. Yeah. So I hope you follow me up to this point.
I'm taking notes because I hope there's not going to be a test at the end of this, Harold.
There is one. Just kidding. I'll try to, make it as simple as possible.
Please do.
With as many picture and media that you can find on Earth. So on the left side, you can recognize, a bunch of codes. And on the right side, you can recognize myself inside the metaverse. So this is a kind of mixed reality capture. You can see it if you have watched, the most recent Disney Plus channel with The Mandalorian or Boba Fett. So there is this green screen where I'm sitting on, and you can see what I'm building inside this, new medium.
So just to understand, so what you're doing on the left side is actually programming. This would be let's say I don't want to say the old way, because it still is viable today of programming, but you're kind of building now on the left side, on the right side, right? You're actually, instead of actually programming, you're actually putting pieces together.
Yeah. Actually, another maybe pop culture reference. Welcome to the Matrix.
Yes.
So on the right side, I am inside the simulation, inside the Matrix, and I'm drag and dropping a 3D object into this PowerPoint of the future. And the way that nowadays you search for pictures, it's often through Google image search.
Yes.
But in this future, and I hate to say future because future is now literally, you can go on those 3D marketplace, which act such as Google image search, and you can search for 3D image, 3D pictures, 3D objects, and then you download them, such as you will do with a picture, and you can import them, same thing with PowerPoint, and you can drag and drop them into that 3D space.
Wow.
In an XYZ, instead of being blocked by XY coordinate.
That's impressive. Wow.
So thanks. And we aim to do that non-programmer tool, that non-pro user. So it is easy as Lego blocks, or for those who love building IKEA's stuff. I know it could be not so easy, IKEA, so maybe it's not the best example, but at the end of the day, we all succeed most of the time, and we are able to build what is written on, those kind of plans. So that's the solution, and that solution is showcased here, where anything that you kind of dream of, you can build it. But also we have a patent pending. It went fast, but we have a patent pending visual scripting tool, because at the end of the day, you don't want this static world. You don't want to be inside a simulation of yours that is all static. You want it dynamic with interaction. So interaction inside our software, StatRx, it is built with that visual scripting tools.
That's impressive. And I'm looking at this being built. So you're like right now you're building a manufacturing plant. So like someone like us who we're in manufacturing, like we can empower our staff, our customers by kind of showcasing what as a training purpose, or even to showcase potential customers what it is to be at Elasto Proxy. Correct?
Yeah, totally. And right before starting this live stream, we're talking about growth, exponential growth, and
Yep.
all that stuff. And that comes down often in the manufacturing world to layout design of this factory and how to optimizing it by following, I don't know, Six Sigma or
Yeah.
lean manufacturing, name it. So often you will call someone that has his green or black belt and will do all the Kaizen stuff and try to think about what is the most optimal thing for your flow. And the thing is, it's hard to visualize again with that 2D blueprint. So think about that not only for training purpose, but also for collaborating on that new layout
Wow.
design, and to check out what are the safety and security stuff that you need to take care of. Is there enough place for your operator where the supervisor will do his round, and all these things that you need to think of, which cannot be really well visualized in the old way, which is looking at the 2D blueprint. My background is an industrial engineer, so I used to come from that block, and I used to do layout optimization. I have also my green belt from McGill, so all those things talks to me, and I know that more and more, as soon as those new tools are being deployed in this new paradigm shift, this new ecosystem of suite of tools that will be connect maybe one day to your ERP, this is something that will be a must need to be more
Wow.
competitive and agile. So yes, there is robot, there is AI, there is stuff that you can do in the real stuff. This will stay there, computer vision, name it. But there is also stuff for logistics, for onboarding your new employee, for also being able to retain them, to attract them when you go to trade show. Because let's face it, there is a scarcity when it comes down to resources that want to work often in factory that are far from the city, far from Montreal, from Quebec, from Gatineau, from the main city, the hub. They are often remote, 45 minutes driving or more.
Absolutely.
So attracting them, you need something sexy. And the metaverse, virtual reality, mixed reality is not a big leap in terms of investment to get there.
That's the impressive part that you say that, because I think that's what kind of blocks certain people, is that like it's new, it's the hype, right? The metaverse is the new hype. So my gosh, the cost of entry is enormous. So like for a small business like ourselves, like we kind of hold back, or let's not venture towards there because I don't know if we can afford that, because it must be cost to do. But I'm looking at this, and I'm not going to say it's easy to do what you're doing there in terms of building it out, but you're trying to make it easy and you're trying to make it accessible to everybody. I'm assuming that's your goal here too as well.
Yeah, the goal, the mission, democratization of this new medium, this new creation of content. That's all why OVA was built. OVA, the name comes from the word innovation, and at the center of it there is OVA. So
Very
so
nice.
we always try to tend to this kind of edge technology. We don't want to be bleeding edge where you bleed money to get there. We start in 2014, 8 years later, 2027. There is no flying car yet. There is maybe drones and so on. But this technology is not anymore bleeding. I think we are over this chasm, and that has been accelerated due to the pandemic. I think the jump 10 years ahead have been done. People know what is to work remotely with a
Yep.
laptop or a computer. Now they learn more and more how to work with a headset. And talking about cash, talking about money and budget, a headset will vary. A VR headset where you're blinded from your surrounding environment because you're all in virtual reality. The reality doesn't exist in your eyes outside of this virtual world. It is roughly for the headset, $300. So it's pretty cheap, but often in factory setting, it's more for real-time operation, for remote assistance. And those headset doesn't come cheap, but it's so efficient the time you gain because you are supported by a technician from above, and your two ends are free. You get that ROI out of the box because it's $5,000 the headset.
Okay.
And often, the software that piggyback on it it's a SaaS, so it will be $20 per month. So budget wise, is if you have three headsets, it's $15,000, and 3 times per month 20, so it's 3 times 60. So it's kind of more and more affordable, and you can run it for a whole shift, for a whole 8 hours. You have a battery pack, and it's done.
That's pretty impressive. So the cost of entry is not as it once was in terms of VR, and especially now going into this. And what I love about this, from my understanding, is that you can piece a lot of things together. You're not stuck with using just a specific brand, let's say, of digital or NFTs. I don't know if I'm using that correctly. NFTs. You can kind of use anything in to kind of bring that into the metaverse. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, you don't need this lexic of new terminology such as non-fungible token in that reality of B2B factory manufacturing. NFT are not there, but though you can reuse those virtual world to in your B2C life, in your consumer life, to do other stuff with that headset if you want. So there you can collect an NFT and maybe do some stuff with that, such as investing and reusing those 3D models. But 3D models actually that you see right there could be coming from both ways. They could be binded to an NFT. That's mean that you own it and
That's
you
right.
can resell it, so it is not lost. Or it can come from a 3D marketplace where you buy with Canadian dollar or US dollar or whatever currency that you want to
Very
use.
nice.
Instead of crypto. So moving forward, I'll go more quickly in that part since I've been talking a lot about what our software can do. I want to go into the use case now.
Yeah.
But briefly, it's cross-platform. So you can use it with your headset or from your laptop. So you can create or see what you have created or share it with your user, with your operator, and so on a 2D screen as well to visualize the 3D
Very nice.
you have created. Also, inside its meta world, you have your own identity, so you can have your own avatar and be represented as is, and you can collaborate with others. So this is how you do it. In that video, there is not 2-person, there is 3. There is the first-person view, and there is the 2-person that collaborate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you can see they can grab tools, they can repair, in that case, this Cessna, this plane. And often is monkey see, monkey do, right? So then you can practice this on and on and on and on. So when you are back in the real world, in front of the real piece of the plane, it is already in your memory, and the retention level is so high. I have some picture at my last slide, but retention of the information in this setting is 90%. And the attention level, when you watch and you hear me talk today, is around 42%, but you will go up to 92% when you are inside of VR settings. So there is a huge boost. Wow. You can have access to your ERP, web panel. You can do conferences inside it. So you can bring what is that from the 2D world into the VR. And now the use case in which industry already embrace and have made this step forward, from Japan, Nikon, to Canada, defense sector, the Navy, going through Lockheed Martin, which is a prime, and in the aviation sector with the OEM like Bombardier. They are the example I want to show you. And you asked me about the vertical. So yes, there is training simulation. I think this is like 95% of our market. But there is also safety, risk management, team collaboration, predictive maintenance, super important for digital twin, and the onboarding process that I was talking about. Okay, so going with the use case, this one is pretty interesting. Going on a ship cost per day for the trainees and for Canada, because this is Canadian defense, is $100,000 per day. And this is do not account, the travels that they need to spend to get to where the ship is. So to one of both coasts that we have, east or west. So in that scenario that has been built with StellaRx, people can, put an anchor at sea. It's a pretty basic, routine thing to be done, but you need to do it once. And it's pretty dangerous because the chain of this anchor are super large. You cannot go across it or you will be dragged into the sea at the bottom of it. Pretty dramatic what I'm saying.
It's very dramatic.
Sorry. Just to show you, safety stuff.
Absolute safety first.
Yeah, exactly. So this is around, dangerous situation such as fire issue for firemen. It could be applied to other kind of fire situation in the factory. It could go through electricity and when it comes down to putting a canna, working and stuff where there is high liquid, such as foundry. So yeah, this is like step by step. This is the thing about electricity. Every year there is people getting electrocuted. So instead of watching a PowerPoint saying what to do, you can practice it once.
Wow.
So yeah, this one is pretty popular actually, because this is in every factory, in every manufacturing. There is this kind of stuff to be done before operating on a machine.
I'm just watching this, and I'm enjoying just to seeing this, like a new way of, like you're saying, the training aspect is incredible. Like
yeah, the feedback, because you don't see it in the video much, but the field of view is pretty big. Right now in real life, I don't know my field of view what is, but maybe 120 degrees. And in those at set, you get 105 degrees, so close to reality. So you are really immersed into it.
That's impressive.
And I'll skip those parts. So, we offer masterclass, so it can teach people how to switch from 2D to 3D and to, become an expert in that. And I just want to talk briefly about also mixed reality and how it can be really helpful for maintenance, repair, operation overall. One example is at Bombardier factory. They use it to do quality assurance and quality check on a piece of a plane. In that case, the A220. So the Airbus 220 used to be called the C series.
Yep.
Back in the day, they used to use a bunch of laser to pinpoint where are the defects on the carbon layer. But now with the HoloLens, they can see it right away on the piece of the plane and be able to identify them and correct them on the go with both of their ends free. And this is how it looks like when you put the headset on. So you can flip it. So you can go from mixed reality to reality by just that flipped. And you have a bunch of holograms that give you tasks step by step that are anchored on the real piece of the objects.
So as you're turning your head, that it stays anchored on to the actual piece. You're turning your head; it's not there anymore. You come back, and then you see, like you're saying there, the aircraft logbook and records. That's insane.
Exactly, that's a good point. There is no drift. It's really anchored at this XYZ position that you choose, and it's next to you. You don't have to hold the old PDF or this kind of book that you dust off. To repair a plane engine. Everything though needs to be digitalized once. But I mean, if you have an intern or an assistant that can help you with that with a scanner and bring it up in that virtual world, this mixed reality world is pretty easy after that to review it, to go through the pages and to have both of your hands free. You can even call a technician if you don't know what to do, and it will pop up in front of your face in that mini screen of yours, and it will see what you see because you have front-facing camera on your headset. So it will be, or she will be able to guide you through the step.
That's impressive, Harold. Wow.
Yeah. I think too. And by the way, there is talk a lot about defense, about aviation, but just this beer company in Montreal and California, they are bottling beer of low volumes. So they bottle between 500 to 1,000 beer. So it's a really niche. It's not like it's not Molson or whatever. They really do that for indie brewers,
Okay.
or seasoned beers, seasoned IPA, name it. And often they need to switch lines of beers, so this machine will be stopped every 500 bottles. And they have two factories, one in Montreal, as I said, one in LA, somewhere in California, and they have expert mainly in Montreal. So they need to guide this team in California. So how they do it is with this software, of course, which is the StellarX Remote Assistant. And same as I told you, it's $20 per month. They need to buy the headset. But if you look at the middle bottom picture, it's like a control tower, where like you can see many screens and help many teams at the same time. So this guy is like an eagle view on those people across the world. Let's say in Montreal and LA. So yeah. So this is how it looks like when you are getting help. You can see the technician, in that case is Caroline, and you can draw stuff and help someone from afar.
Wow.
So I will go quick in those 3 minutes left for that interview. We are building also Meta University for the defense sector on the West Coast, where they will add everything off the shelf into it to train the soldier of the future. It's not about bringing, the soldier to to the training scenario, but the training scenario to the soldier in that case. So it's the other way around. And that's what I was talking about on my last slide about the concentration effect. This is based on EEG on a group of 30 person, aged between 12 and 13 years old. You can see that, the concentration was much more higher based on the traditional classes. So there is a direct effect on your resources, on the retention and attention level. So yeah, that's it for me on what I want to show you and talk about, and what we have been building for the past 8 years at OVA, and how we can help the manufacturing world, the defense sector world, and help all the people that want to make that move into that new paradigm and be on that future is now, and be at the time present, and be adapted to what's going on around the world.
Harold, thank you so much. I'm just gonna put up the website here at the bottom of our screen. So if anyone wants to go and take a look, so that's the StellarX website, and also we have the OVA website. So please take advantage of that. Please contact Harold. Super nice guy. And Harold, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it so much. I know you're a busy man, but you're changing the world one step at a time. So it's impressive. This is truly impressive technology on that, Harold. Thank you again.
Thanks again. Thanks for everything. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. On behalf of Elasto Proxy, my name is Roberto Nacarado, and thank you again to Harold Dumur from OVA and the StellarX program. And to everybody, we'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.